Hiya guys and gals, it's Elstonation here. So yeah, it's another painting tutorial. This time we're going to have a look at Ultramarines. Now we're going to start off with this guy. Now I'll go for a jump pack variant because this is for one of the special units in the pre-Heresy Ultramarines. And this is kind of what I'm basing on the pre-Heresy. I started off with a black undercoat with a top-down grey sort of pre-shading undercoat as well, just so I got an idea what was going on. Now I'm starting off with Vallejo Premium's Cobalt Blue here, and that's just a simple base coat all over the top. Now we're going to go in Vallejo Gamer Magic Blue, and we're going to use this as a kind of 45-degree angle, and kind of start bringing up a little bit of highlight here and there. Hindsight, what you'll see is me highlighting the shoulder pads. As you'll see later on, I don't actually need to do that, so skip it. If you're going to make the shoulder pads white, don't bother shading them. Everything else, just follow along. Okay, so I'm coming in now with Hoeth Blue, and this is basically thinned down quite a lot, so I'll go through my airbrush, and what I'm trying to do is just create more focal points on the cylindrical plates, and trying to create a specific line which will be the focal point. The shoulder pads, again I didn't need to do this, but have a certain point as the focal point on it, and the bottom of the chest plates is kind of where I'm aiming the focal point. Now I'm coming in with Lothern Blue, I think that's how you say it. It's one of the GW ones. Next one up in that line, so we're just going to create this sort of next highlight up. Again, a little bit less each time, just trying to focus on those specific points and create these reflection lines. Also as well, guys, I wanted to mention that this painting technique was kind of based off Matthew Kane's previous Forge World painter technique from his blog. I'll stick a link below, so if you want to go see how he does his, I think they're better than mine, but yeah, there'll be a link below. Go check him out. He does actually do classes on it as well, so if you get a chance, go to him. They're awesome. Okay, so you can see here we've got some quite sort of bright contrasting bits now. And we're just going to put a nice little bit of an extra layer on each of them. Okay, now I'm coming in with basically a glaze. Now this is Lothern Blue mixed with a tiny bit of white and thinned down quite a lot. And I'm just trying to create that focal point just a little bit more. Kind of doing a little bit of edge highlighting around the plates, defining those lines on the cylindrical plates as well, and any focal points like the helmet there, just create a point where the light would be. The key with this bit is do thin down your paints a lot. It doesn't even look like I'm painting on, but it is building up layers, and you want that just so you get this smooth blend. Okay, and here's another highlight where I just add a little bit more white to it, and coming in again just to get another extreme highlight point. But yeah, it's a lot of layers. You don't have to do this many layers if you don't want to. This is just kind of the way I've done it for these guys. You could probably cut back a couple of steps and it'd still be pretty good. It's up to you how you want to do it though. But the way I'm doing these guys, I need kind of extreme highlights at this point and stage in the process. Okay, now here's the fun part. So what we're going to do is take Gilliman Blue and just wash it all over the model and try not to let it pull, because you don't really want this to have like stain marks where it's pulled too much. So just keep on spreading it about till you've got nice even coverage of it. Okay, so now that that's part done, we're going to wash it again. We're going to put another glaze over the top again. Don't want this pooling. The reason why I'm doing two is to blend down those extreme highlights into a nice, deep, rich blue colour. The extreme highlights are what will show through and give us a really nice blend. So, as I said, you could cut back a couple of steps beforehand before you got to the extreme highlights and maybe just do one layer of glaze. That will suffice. If you're doing a lot, I would probably suggest that. But just with these guys, I wanted a nice, deep, rich blue. Okay, so now we're coming in with Vallejo Model Color Brass. And this is just going on all the gold areas. This will be like the trim, the Ultramarine symbol itself, the faceplate. I believe I did the Ultramarine little symbol on his abdomen, and the handle of the sword as well. Okay, so now we're going to use some Agrax Earthshade, and we're just going to wash over all the gold parts we've just painted. Okay, and now we're going to come back in with Vallejo model color brass again. This time we're not going to paint the whole thing, we're just going to pick out the raised areas. So we've got some shadow. Basically, this the Agrax shade gives us the depth, and now we're just bringing the color back a bit. Okay, so now we're going to move on to doing some of the other areas. Actually, no, I completely lie. What we're going to do is mix some chainmail silver in with the brass. This is actually one of the next highlights of the sort of gold areas. I always tend to find mixing in silver with gold creates a much nicer sort of effect rather than just trying to find a lighter gold. Silver creates this really kind of polished, nice, rich gold enhanced color. So I really like doing that. So you can use other colors if you want, mix other things, whatever you wish to do. I mean, you could just find a lighter color gold, give it a whirl with that. Might just do the same thing. I always have this preference of mixing in a silver with my gold, or brass in this case. I think it just creates a really nice effect with that. Okay, now coming in with chainmail silver again, we're just gonna undercoat or put a base color down on all the metal parts. So we're talking about the gun, some of the piping on the jetpack, any grenades that he's got, stuff like that. Okay, now we're going to come in with some somber grey, and we're just going to do the pouches and the sort of cabling in between the joints of the armor plates, and yeah, just give that break it up a little bit. Okay, now we're coming in with some non-oil, and we're going to wash the grey and the metallic areas, and also that vent part on the back. I guess it's like an intake vent on the jetpack. Just because that was blue, and it'd be nicer to have it a darker colour, give a bit of differential. You know, that's where air and dirt is probably going to get sucked in. Okay, so what we're going to do here is use a grey colour. It doesn't really matter what grey. I've just had some Vallejo Premium Grey lying about. We're just going to colour in the shoulder pads. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I shaded them for some unknown reason. But I knew I was going to paint them white, but I was kind of in autopilot mode and I shaded them blue. But yeah, if you want to keep them blue, that's fine. But I'm just painting these guys' shoulder pads white. So I'm just going to start off with a grey here. You don't want it too dark a grey on this bit, so a lighter-ish grey usually works better, because we're going to try and transition up to white. Just make sure you've got a nice base coat down that's pretty solid, so you have to do a couple of coats. Okay, now we're going to come in with Vallejo Gamer Stonewall Gray, which is a little bit lighter up, and we're just going to try and leave the bottom of the shoulder pad the darker grey colour. Just start up a bit of a highlighting process. I always tend to find highlighting up the white's quite a tricky thing, so you might just have to play with this bit a bit. So I'm going to mix in some dead white with the grey. This is the point where it gets tricky, because the white is so sort of chalky. It doesn't separate and blend very well. You have to kind of play about with it a bit to try and get what you want. So if you have to go back to grey and blend it back in, then so be it, sort of thing. It's not an easy process, this bit, so you kind of have to play around with it until you really do have what you want. Also, as well, remember to thin down your paints. It's going to help you out no end. But yeah, as you can see, I'm having a bit of a trouble here. A hard time sort of trying to get this blend right. White paint just doesn't react the same as the other paint. It just goes a bit strange. It might just be me. I might be completely getting it wrong. But yeah, white does some odd things. So, you know, I'm having to come back in with the grey here and try and blend it with the white and get this transition. Okay, so next bit, I actually missed the step, I didn't record it, but I'm going to do the sword. Now, I've masked this off in a sort of obverse or obtuse way. Just to give you a heads up, I start by priming the sword dark green, and then what I do is mask one side of the sword and then mask the opposite side of the other side of the sword, if that makes sense. So I'm masking off a quarter on each side, and as you can see there, one side of it's fine, and then on the other side of the sword, the other half of it is unmasked. And I started off with a sick green. That was it. Started off with sick green. Now coming in with a scorpion green. Then I'm mixing a little bit of white in with it, and we're just going for the sort of top ridges here. And we're getting this nice blend effect. What I do after I've done that, and I mix a bit more white in and blend the very tip of it. After we've done that, we basically just do the reverse. Swap the masking tape over and do the same again. One thing to watch out for is mask off the rest of the model, because you do get overspray and you end up painting your model a different colour than what you would want to. Right, now the eyes, I'm not very good at doing faces and eye lenses and stuff like that. There are plenty of videos on the internet on how to do it, and a lot better explained than myself, but basically start green, followed by sick green, followed by scorpion green, and then a white dot. So go check out, it's base dark green, then towards the corner of the eye closest to the nose, starting off with sick green, then scorpion green, then a white dot. I'm now just painting black on the casing of the bolter, just to break that up a little bit. Sorry, bolt pistol. Man, this video is going on a long time. Having trouble getting my words out properly. Okay, what I'm doing there, that was actually just putting a gloss varnish down for the transfers. Again, with the decals, I didn't show this. I've got a video on the Chilling Wargamers channel. There'll be a link below on how to do that. So there are decals at the base. I'm not going to show that because you're going to base it your way at the end of it. You're not going to base it the way I do it. What we're doing here is we're coming in with the cobalt blue as well. I actually wanted the ultramarine symbol to be blue, so I've painted the inside of it, just leaving the gold as a kind of rim or edge around it. And then after I've done the cobalt blue, I'm coming in with Lothern blue as well, and just highlighting up the upper side of the ultramarine symbol just to make it, give it some sort of definition. Now it's an extra bit I thought I'd try and do. I didn't do very well at this bit, but basically came in with magic blue, and I tried to basically spray the inside of the jetpack there. Then I came in with electric blue, and I kind of got that right, but kind of didn't. Probably wouldn't advise doing this step myself, to be honest with you. It's quite tricky to do. Then came in with a bit of white. Now white is really hard to airbrush because it comes out all chalky and it blocks up your airbrush. So yeah, if you can, don't bother with it. Because you also get overspray and you could end up ruining your model. So I had to go back and fix up. The shoulder pad has got a little bit of blue there basically, so I had to go back and actually fix that up with some grey and white later on. So yeah, this bit you could probably leave without. It's pretty much done. And here is the final piece. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Go check out the Chilling Wargamers channel where I did a video on how to do the decal side of things, and check out some of my other videos as well for more painting on other sort of pre-heresy Space Marines. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, give us a share, post around to anyone that might find it appreciative. Also, don't forget to check out Silent Wargaming. That's where I get all my hobby goods and bits and bobs like that. There should be a link below as well, so go check them out. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.